What's happening with the job market for those in high school now? Where are they going to go in the future? Let's find out in this edition of WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is Glenn Weil, and Glenn is with the Patoka Valley Career and Technical Education Cooperative. Okay. Yes. And you're a longtime educator. Now you're really, I guess, a coordinator as such of
quasi-administrative role.
Okay, of educators who educate our high school students about career and technical. I'm going to keep using the word vocational. It's going to be hard for me at my age to get over that.
I love that word.
Yes. Well, let's talk a little. We've talked to Dr. Johnson about that in the past. How the word vocational is not so much used now. It's career and technical. What's the difference? What's
the stigma that was with vocational education led people to believe that it was for those not going to college, and vocational trades became so much more technical that post-secondary education for most of what was vocational education, whether it's auto mechanics or welding or industrial maintenance, construction trades, began to require so much post-secondary education that it just was an incorrect stigma. So to encourage parents to encourage their children and kids to feel good about their careers, we changed it to career and technical education and point out consistently how most of our students in our programs will seek some type of post-secondary education.
And that could be a 1 year, 2 year,
absolutely
3 year, I guess 4 year, but it's not the typical college route of academia that people think of.
Right. And here's where your introduction was right on, because what the current research is showing is that 9-month certificates that are often earned in an associate degree in appropriate high-need, high-wage areas, 2-year associate degrees are on average out earning what some of the traditional bachelor degree programs are earning.
Now, the job market is changing for those in high school now. And I know even when I was young, they said a lot of the jobs that will exist for you when you're in the job market don't even exist yet. There's not even names for some of these things. Right. I'm sure it's the same for high school students today.
Absolutely.
How is the job market changing?
You know, the interesting part that gets the most attention, that is changing the least, is professional degrees. There are any degree that requires a 4-year baccalaureate degree. In the 70s, about 20% of all available jobs required 4-year degrees. It's still only up to 26%. And we hear consistently from many people who promote that to develop human capital, which we can do by sending more students to college, is going to make everything better. But now we have a situation where not only are we seeing some very disappointing completion rates, even in Du Bois County. We're one of the best counties in the state, but we still, in 6 years, only less than 40% of our high school graduates finish college in 6 years. If they don't finish in 6 years, there's a likelihood that they're not going to finish. So 6 out of 10, and it's probably a little less than that because we don't have information from out-of-state colleges and private colleges. But even if it's 5 or 4 out of 10, that there's a lot of debt that college graduates are acquiring, and the job market has almost diluted the requirement for college degrees. So, you know, in the past, you may have had 15 people that apply for a job as a taxi driver or a checkout clerk or somebody working at a clothing store, and you pick the one with the best interview. Over time, it's gotten to be, well, 4 of those 15 have college degrees. So that kind of shows us a little bit about their persistence and their IQ. But, you know, do the college students really want to pay that much money to work in those kinds of jobs? So it's very important today to consider the value of a college education, which is certainly good, but you have to pick something you can finish and that it's desirable. You know, in the 70s and 80s, any college grad could get a high-paying professional job because they're only about probably 20% of the population had college degrees. Now it's over 30%, and the job market is only about 26%. So we have, especially the young people, because the older people are staying on work longer, the young people are really struggling at this time to get jobs, even if they complete college, in some of those areas that used to be a ticket to a decent job.
Now, with the addition of the Center for Technology and Innovation and Manufacturing at Vincennes University
Yes.
Jasper campus, they're doing a great job.
Yes.
And are looking into the future for the post-secondary.
Absolutely.
Your group, Patoka Valley, is dealing more with the students they're in high school to get them prepared for I guess you're getting them prepared for post-secondary. Has that changed?
Yes, it has. And the unfortunate part about the emphasis in our education system right now, and we can compare it to Finland or Germany or Korea, some of the other countries that have outscored the United States in testing, is that we have such a focus on testing that it leads us to basically have a school system that doesn't have time to focus on career and technical education or kids and careers, because we have too many standards we have to cover in English and math. And we have more standards in the United States and even in Indiana than any other industrialized country in the world, and also a shorter school day and a shorter school year. But it's more important that we allow some time, and maybe even to change the school grading system to allow schools to put focus on career education, so that we don't have to put all of our resources into testing and remediation for testing, and gearing towards the graduation exams, the SAT test, and things like that, which are certainly important. But again, my point would always be, how many people really need that? Are we talking, we have 30% jobs that are going to, with optimistic growth, 30% of the jobs are going to require a 4-year baccalaureate degree. So why do we push 80% or 90 or 100% of our kids to go that direction at the cost that you consider? There's no research yet to say that if you automatically get a 4-year college degree, that's going to create more prosperity in our country. Our country is built from hard work, we don't even know yet if these successful people that have 4-year degrees are successful because of what they learned in college or because of their work ethic and their natural innate ability to learn. Most people I talk to will say, well, I really enjoyed college, but most of what I learned to perform my job, I learned on the job.
Yeah, right. Now, is maybe an important step to getting us looking more at career and technical degrees would be to work in legislation with legislators?
I think that is a key point, because I think they can make differences into what schools are allowed to do, the freedom schools have, and the funding for schools. Again, right now, the schools are so lean, they don't have the funding to buy the newer tech machinery that would really entice kids to learn about things that would help them in the manufacturing world, which is our biggest employer. We can't afford the stuff we need to put down in the high school level, and it's complicated, it's rigorous. Pneumatics, hydraulics, electronics, all those kind of things are rigorous and intellectual. They would be a great study for students that are going to go on into engineering, salespeople that are going to go into sales and business and manufacturing, and even the moderate, mid-level students who are going to need skilled trades, which again, that's the area we're talking back about, the job market that has grown the most, is the job market that requires technical skills that traditionally are not being, well, not traditionally, but at least currently aren't being taught in the high schools. In the old days, we had more robust, I'll call them shop classes. Family consumer science. Jasper had 2 family consumer science teachers and at least five shop teachers when I first started band directing in Du Bois County, or at Jasper High School. And we're a shadow of that now.
Yeah, things have changed, but now
Absolutely.
we're looking to maybe go back. I guess.
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so, but I think it's going to take some strong legislation to make that happen. Because again, I love our Commission for Higher Education. I totally support four-year college degrees, but there is such a marketing effort that is able to succeed for kids and parents going in that pathway that I think it's more difficult. The cost of college is certainly causing parents and kids to give it a second thought, but and especially when they look at graduation rates. But still, that's such a, I mean, it's a great opportunity. If you can afford to send your kids to 4 years of college just to help them grow and mature and become a better person, I would think that's a good investment for your child. They'll love you the rest of your life. But make sure they go to class. You know, I mean, colleges nowadays are country clubs. They have spas and what student wouldn't want to go there? But I think we do have a lot of mature students that think about it more realistically. You're talking $80,000 to $100,000 for a four-year residential college degree, and it's something to think about.
That's why this area really is fortunate to have VUJC.
Absolutely.
Because of what they offer.
Absolutely. I mean, do 2 years there. You
Sure.
know, what a great opportunity to pay a less tuition, live at home, work in the community, and even that'll help you decide what career opportunities are available in Du Bois County, which again could be mirrored all across the country. And then you'll have your degree refined. The largest major now in colleges is undecided. And $25,000 a year is not a good idea to send your child if they say, well, I don't quite know, Mom and Dad, what I want to do. I'm going to go undecided. Cut that off.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
Get them to do something.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for coming in and being our guest. I hope you've learned something in this edition of WJTS in.form. I certainly have. We thank our guest, Glenn Weil, and we thank you for watching WJTS in.form. We are local people watching local people.